When you go on Twitter, you see a lot of OBO fans talking about how Wizkid is chasing the clout by mentioning Davido's name. Hey, how can anybody in their right senses say that somebody that is setting the trends is competing with somebody that's coming behind? It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Now it's beginning to look like what people are saying out there, truth, like losing relevance, and it's affecting it. It's affecting it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Lines and Bars. Interestingly, today we are not actually dissecting any lyric or any song. It's an interesting thing that today we're talking about what's going on in the Nigerian music, Nigerian Afrobeat music space, vis-a-vis what happened in the last couple of days. We just want to air our opinion. Interesting thing is, in this forum, we are on different sides, so we're going to air our opinions and hopefully somebody is going to listen out there and something is going to be done. So I'm going to introduce again. I have Tiwani with me. I have Ogini. I have Paula and my humble self, Ronke. So Tiwani,
That's what's up.
let's get.
Very much for joining us on today's episode. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we good.
Very well.
Okay. To be honest, the last couple of days have been really eventful, especially in the music industry. A lot has happened, and despite the fact that a lot of people have been quiet about it, we know that they have a lot of things to say. But then I think everybody's just trying to play safe because this it has to do with the big guns in the industry. So you don't go and shoot yourself in the leg or put yourself in a position where it affects your career on the long run. You understand? So what I'll say pertaining to this event is that we don't really know exactly what the issue is. We don't know whose wound was touched. So we can't tell for a fact why Wizkid has been ranting. We can't tell for a fact why Davido has been quiet because he's unlike him to keep quiet. That's Davido. And as well is unlike Wizkid to be very vocal about how he feels. Though for the past couple of months, especially this year, he has been really vocal. But the one that happened these couple of days as like it really shows that something is going on the ground that we don't know about. But what I would say is that I think something is definitely wrong. It's not just trying. A lot of people have been saying that maybe because he wants to release an album or a song, so he's using Davido's name to trend or something. But I think it goes beyond that. There's something underneath that we don't understand, and I wouldn't want to say it's just music. He just wants to release music. A lot of artists does that they go head to head against each other just to make sure their music trends or something. But definitely this is beyond that. So I would just like to stick to that for now. So let's hear everyone else's opinion so we know exactly what is going on. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You have made very important points. First thing, we don't know what actually is the issue. There have been a lot of conjectures here and there, but yeah, that's a very important fact. Ball is your
Okay.
court.
All right. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining us once again today. And so for me, this whole issue stems from, based on what we saw on the 2nd of October, there's this guy, Nelson, on Twitter. His name is Nelson Pega or something like that. Apparently, he made a video. He made a video talking about the Puma deal, right? The Davido Puma deal, that Wizkid rejected 1 million, then it was offered to Davido, right? So,
brother, you have not had a hit in 4 years. 4 years you have not had a hit. You're tweeting at David, talking all this nonsense at Davido. Dude's at Puma in New York City unveiling his new collection. Bro, you're a junior brother to Ira Star. You're a junior brother to Rema. You're a junior brother to Thames. Bro, dude, calm down. Get the hell off Twitter and go make some freaking music.
I
Okay?
think Wizkid reacted to that video that the deal they are giving to Africans, that it wasn't for him. So that was the tweet he tweeted. So the guy now made another video saying that, bro, you don't have the, like, in a nutshell, he's trying to say that he doesn't have the kind of influence that Davido has. That is why the Puma deal was still on that particular amount. So there's a speculative amount going on. We're not too sure, but people are trading around $1 million. Then that Davido was offered 10 million. Right. So what I see in a nutshell in all this is this. Right. If you look at Davido, have you guys noticed the kind of endorsement deals that this man signs? Like, Davido has a endorsement deal with a Pampers company. that's how wide this business, So I think basically it's all about, from what people are saying and the vibe online. So there are two things, right? From Wizkid's side, why he's ranting is because probably Davido is hijacking some of his deals. So there's that argument, right, going on, that probably Davido is hijacking some of the deals, that is probably spoiling markets rather for them in that industry. So there's a lot going into it.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, I don't have much comment on that. I think at this point, I would like to bring somebody with an opposing view, somebody that I can see from the other point of view from the other side. So, Guinea, the ball is in your court.
Good day, everyone. I'm glad to be here again and glad to have you guys watching us again. First of all, I'd like to talk about a little about what Fola just spoke about. We just spoke about the deal, the Puma deal, and how it all started and all of that. Now, first of all, this is not the first time. I mean, Davido didn't just sign the Puma deal, right? It's been with Puma since, like, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken. So the only thing that just happened recently was that he released his own shoes by Puma, right? It's online, like he has t-shirts, shoes, and all of that. So that's like the new thing that is happening with the Puma deal. Now, I've read so many things about this deal. Some people came out and said Wizkid rejected the deal because the budget for Africa is low and all of that. And then a few people who are also in the know also came out and said no, that initially Wizkid was paid $1 million, and that when they were going to renew, he was asking for 10 million, but they felt like no, it wasn't good enough for 10 million, and then they went ahead and then signed Davido for that same 10 million. Now, I don't know how true this is because I've not seen the contract. I don't know. So it would be wrong for me to come because all we heard are, just speculations, right? So it would be wrong for me to talk based on that. Do you understand? But if that was what really happened, it simply shows that as at the time that Puma wanted to renew uh, Wizkid's deal, they felt like it was not worth that 10 million because it wasn't buzzing as much. At least, if I can remember vividly, I think the last time Whiskey dropped anything was like 4 years ago, right? Am I wrong?
You are wrong. It does something beginning of this year.
Okay, I'm talking about an album. Oh no, the last time we had the hit. Let me rephrase. The last time we had the hit
I'm
was
sorry, he had it last.
no, it's okay, it's okay. Like it's okay, but in my own opinion, I feel like the only reason why, if that what they are saying, what they are speculating is true, it simply means that Puma felt like, Davido has more balls as at the time they were going to sign the deal. So it makes more sense for them to give a Davido 10 million rather to give Whiskey. That's by the way. But I don't want to dwell on that because, like I said, I haven't seen the papers. I don't know how true that is. But I'm going to talk on the rant that Whiskey has been, for a few days now. First of all, there's nothing wrong in, having beef with your, fellow artists. It's been happening for years, even in Nigerian music. We've had Sonny Ade versus Obi. We've had Barista versus Collington, and then even in recent time we've had Rugged Man versus Remedies and all of that. So we've had several, beef in the industry. So there's nothing wrong with that. But where I think Wizkid crossed the line is going after Davido's family, talking about his uncle, talking about his dad. I think he's way out of line. First of all, he's a Yoruba boy, and the Yorubas are called Omoluabi. I mean, we have respect. They train us with a lot of respect, right? With a lot of respect. So I think it is wrong. No matter, I don't want to I don't believe it should have gotten to that place. So that's why if you ask me, if it is possible, do you understand? I would ask Whiskey to apologize. Now it has nothing to do with whether I'm a Davido fan or like I've always said it. Yes, I'm a big Davido fan, but I love Whiskey's music too. I mean, he's talented. And like in our previous what's it called podcast, when we spoke about the big three. Do you understand? You guys can remember vividly that I said that whiskey is even bigger than the big three right now. So meaning that I do not have any disrespect for him or for his craft. But in this case, I think it went way out of line by, extending the beef to the video's family. So that's my take for now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I must applaud you. That's a very, very important point to be raised, which actually, interestingly, is part of the things I wanted to say. But before I say what I wanted to say, I would like to talk about a couple of things, which I believe are precursors to what eventually culminated to what happened eventually, right? There's this talk of the big three here and there. There's this talk of when you go on Twitter, you see a lot of OBO fans talking about uh, how Wizkid is chasing the clout by mentioning Davido's name, trying to compete with Davido. And in my mind, I'm thinking, how do you say, how can anybody in their right senses say that somebody that is setting the pace, setting the trends, is competing with somebody that's coming behind him? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Because if you look at the history, I don't think there has been anything that Davido did first that Wizkid is not trying to catch up, trying to do in a way, in a bid to compete. I think the only thing I can ever remember is the only thing that Wizkid didn't do first before Davido is performing at the World Cup. That's the only thing. I can be wrong, but I've cast my mind back. We're talking about the first person to have 5,000 people at a venue in London, Wizkid. The other people now competed with him and tried to do similar things that he did. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. We're talking about O2, we're talking about major milestones in the industry that puts the industry in the forefront. Wizkid did everything first. So he's a trend setter. Yet you see all these minions coming and saying Wizkid is trying to compete with Davido. I think it makes no sense to me that somebody that's done something first is competing with somebody that's trying to do it second. How does that even make any sense? That's number one. Number two, this what I want to say now is it's going to lead me to the final talk I want to talk about. I think we don't even know how powerful Wizkid has been. To me, Wizkid before this year is beyond music. This is an artist that other artists tremble when they meet. I've seen interviews of other artists that are big everywhere saying the first time they met Wizkid, the way they felt. It reminds me of the time when people will talk about Michael Jackson in America. The influence of Michael Jackson is beyond his music. His personality is a defining factor in how people perceive him. And the same way with Wizkid, because beyond the music, before now, I remember I used to have that discussion several years ago, 5 years ago, and we're going to be talking about the brand of Wizkid. And we used to say that Wizkid will not respond to anybody. That was the brand. That made that brand unique. That made that brand bigger than life. That created a cult following for the brand Wizkid, which is now leading me to what I want to say right now. As one of the biggest Wizkid fans, I am highly disappointed in all the Twitter rants of Wizkid this year, because the most important part to me, I don't know, I might be wrong, but the way I perceived the Wizkid brand was more of a brand that will never utter a word. It allows his work
Dance.
to speak for him. He has maintained that for more than a decade. That is one of the biggest factors in the Wizkid brand. That's one of the reasons why people tremble. People revered Wizkid. There's a reverence to the name Wizkid because it will never talk. No matter what you say, it will keep quiet. In fact, they used to say it. In fact, that's one of the reasons they used to call him Popsy. Popsy doesn't talk, right? The young people will say Popsy will never respond. So I am amazed and disappointed that I don't even want to care the situation. Puma big deal, Puma deal. Is it a UBA deal? Is it about the release of the album? A lot of things can cause anger, and I understand everybody is human, right? But there is an essence to Wizkid that I have respected over the years, and that essence got lost this year with all these Twitter rants, and that is where I have issues with. That is my major issue. I don't care. And don't say, I will say I don't care. I actually care about maybe if it is true that he didn't like the fact that maybe Davido was spoiling markets in the international community when it comes to deals and stuff like that. Of course, I care about that. I want the industry to be bigger, right? But I'm saying for the kind of response that Wizkid decided to do, if it is true that is the reason why he was angry, I never expected that. He could have done a number of other ways to address that than attacking him, which is totally unbecoming of his character, of his brand. It is not a Wizkid that we know from day one. It is unbecoming, and I'm totally disappointed in whatever tirade that he decided to, whatever his issue he had with whoever, I don't care. It should never have affected the brand Wizkid that was bigger than life, never talks, always on point, always classy, that gave him a cult following. That is the Wizkid that most of us fell in love with. And I'm hoping that it can change. It can do something drastic and stop this and go back to that ubiquitous person that is the essence of Wizkid. That's the major thing I want to talk about.
All right. Ebon, can I come in now? Now, it's beginning to look like what people are saying out there is the truth. Like, he's losing relevance and it's affecting him. It's affecting his person. I'm not saying that is what happened, but that's how it's beginning to look, because this is you who used to keep quiet about everything. Everybody knows that Davido likes to talk, but even at that, in the talking sense, small. Nobody say he will come out on the person, papa, person, uncle. Do you understand what I mean? Brags about what he's been able to achieve most of the time. And that is the person who and where him be. On this podcast, I won't say it that Davido grew up in America, and in America, it's part of the culture, especially the entertainment culture, to brag about things that you have and all of that. So that somehow might have affected his person and his reasoning. I mentioned it, a while back. However, with whiskey, like I said in our last podcast, I'm going to go back to when we are talking about the big three. I think whiskey and his FC are do not or cannot see that they have outgrown a particular level. I don't think, I'm repeating it again, I don't think Wizkid should even be in talk of big three. It's bigger than that. He has, do you understand? Like you rightly said, he's a pace setter. Do you understand? He was first in so many things. But however, even if you are first in so many things, you need to understand that you feel start out, but people go meet you there, pass you for there. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he started the O2 events and all of that, but it shows the kind of crowd that these people are controlling now. I'm not saying they cannot control it, but unfortunately, right now we have artists who have done bigger shows that Wizkid has done. Do you understand? Now, yes, he's a pace setter, he did so many things, but they were back in the days, Majek Fashek, I mean, control crowds. I don't know if you understand. Back in the days, even Sonny Ade, you know the kind of people where they go watch Sonny Ade back in the days, the kind of people that used to go and watch Fela, they used to kill the shows back in the days. So they are not the first where they start all these things. It was like Nigerian music stopped at some point. We're not getting the kind of accolades or the kind of how will I put it that we used to get back in the day. The relevance, do you understand? So now begin they bring them back. It doesn't mean that you guys started it. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So, however, if you don't reach that place where you feel like okay, you are not as, how will I put it, because you can never be there forever. There was one time in fact in the whole of Africa, it was like Two-Face was number one. I keep going back to Two-Face.
It wasn't like it was.
It was number one, but we cannot say Two-Face is number one anymore. But it don't reach that legendary level where they say even if in no go. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's a particular kind of respect that everybody gives to him, like say, Baba. Do you understand? Nobody want disrespect him. Nobody want, That's where I feel like the Wizkid should be right now. Do you understand? He should not even be in the talk of big three or trying to drag for attention and all of that. Because whether we like it or not, if Wizkid releases Moriah or releases any of the singles, like Paula was saying earlier on, that under 2-3 days, that the snippet for that song,
Almost
got
30 million
about
views.
30 million views. I put it to you that even if Wizkid no rank, if he still reach that 30 million views, because that is who he is. He's as big as that. So he does not need all of the all the ranting and all of that. Do you understand? Because like I said, he's losing the real essence. Like Ronke said earlier on, he's losing the real essence why he's known as Popsy, why people revere him. Why do you understand? In fact, he's not losing it, he has lost it. Now, I'm sure that
No,
Ronke is not
yes,
the
not.
only. Okay, well, if you say so, but that's my opinion. Because I want to believe that you're not the only Wizkid fan who is disappointed in him. As much as a lot of people are still cheering him on and saying that, because I mean, some people will cheer you on anyways. Some people will follow you blindly anyways. You understand? Yeah, but I'm sure that even a few out of those people that are still cheering him up, they just want to cheer him anyways because they're Wizkid and they're guy. But deep down, they're disappointed. Now, like I said, we don't even know what happened, what really happened between the both of them. But it kind of look like, say, Davido is becoming the mature
Like the tables are turning. Like
attorney. Do you understand?
because it used to be the other way around. Like Whiskey would never say anything, and this other guy would just be the one rambling and rambling. But now it's not a happy thing. I'm not very happy about that system. It's horrible for me.
It's not, it's
Somebody
not looking
somebody made a
nice.
tweet and said, after all this Wizkid rant, I saw the tweet. Someone said, that is why there's still kid in your name. Baba go arrest Jesus.
So some people don't get mind to insult Wizkid before. Say forget. I'm a big Davido fan, but I respect Wizkid's talent. I respect what he has been able to do in the industry.
Mm.
I don't know if you understand. Sometimes, even if whatever that happened is personal, I think it should have remained, personal, and they shouldn't have brought it to, do you understand? Because the truth is, bringing it to the internet will not change anything. Because as we speak, we do
Not
not
make it
even
better.
know. We will not make it better because we don't even know what went down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we all have people who have offended us. Do you understand? Who have done things that are really painful to us. Like Ronke knows. Do you understand? There's somebody in the industry who I feel has offended me, but I don't talk about it. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't mean that people would start. I don't even want people's speeches. Do you understand? Because they only talk about it do you understand, for a while, and that's it. Do you understand? So I feel like, and then him, like I said earlier on, giving Davido now and then extending this thing to his family is totally. That's where he. Now where he fuck up. Sorry,
The
excuse my.
line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
I
where he
mean,
crossed the line for me.
so even
Yeah.
even if it did not, I mean, your point is well noted. But for me, even if it did not yab other people apart from be only the family yab now, yab basketball, other people. Even if it does not do that, the fact that is ranting is
Alone.
degrading the essence of that that reverence, the way he carried himself. The brand is about class. It's about
Yes.
being different, being aloof.
Having
And if
steez,
you
being
maintain
elegant.
you have steam, so people see that. In fact, I remember back in the days, when it was it 2006, 2016, I think 2016. Then it never plenty way we dey see all these American artists with Nigerian artists. This guy had songs with don't even talker. Nicki Minaj was the one that's posting the picture they took together. Nicki Minaj was one that posted it on her page. He didn't even bother to post it. That was the
Yeah.
brand. That was the brand that gave us that feeling like it be like say our own artist called the big pass all this American artist. Do you understand? Because of the way he carried himself, the way it maintained that steez. Like, I'm not going to be about any of these unnecessary things, drama. I'm just going to be about my music and whatever it is I'm doing and let my music speak for me. I will never say a thing. And that has worked over the years. Also,
Yeah.
I want to say that the OBO fan base, they have consistently barraged him. Like I said, there is no competition when somebody is leading. But these people always find a way to try to diminish that every time, trying to diminish
All right.
and
I
trying
want
to
to say
say,
something concerning that, if you can hear me. When you're done,
yeah,
please.
go ahead, Tiwani.
Okay. What I realized about this diminishing act of fan bases when it comes to like making an artist look bad or pitching them against somebody that's not even as big as them and stuff like that. I've realized that over the past couple of years, these people actually do it to provoke the other fan base to get relevance because a lot of these influencers got big from this particular act of pitching artists against each other. So the upcoming micro influencers want to follow that footstep of getting
That
big,
trend.
that trend. Like, okay, for me to be able to be a big influencer known in this particular fan base, I need to consistently diminish whatever. Let me just put it for example. A Davido, I'm 30 BG. I'm trying to blow up as an influencer in the 30 BG sphere. What I need to do right now is to always come for Wizkid. Let everybody think that he has nothing to offer any longer. He's just a done artist. Whatever he has achieved in the past is long gone. Nobody cares about his music anymore. Even if he win
Sorry,
Grammy,
sorry to
is
cut you short.
yeah,
This, I think, is it that nursing guy that started talking? Thames is bigger than you. I was like,
Yeah.
who are you? What are you talking about? You're a young brother. You're a younger
That guy
brother to
not from
Thames. You're a
Davido's
younger
camp.
brother. I said, what is this guy talking about? You understand? I'm just trying to buttress your point. Like,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
try to
So
diminish you.
what he's doing right there is to make sure he knows that there are a lot of people in in each of those fan bases that will that will propagate whatever he's trying to
So
say.
he wants to be
So that's
relevant
why he's
in
doing
quotes.
that.
He
Yes,
wants to be relevant in quotes.
you get it. So you know that even if he says that Charlie Poppy is bigger than Wizkid, it's an agenda. And what Twitter people do these days is agenda. Just bring the agenda. If you tell me that Portable is bigger than Wizkid, let's have it.
Sorry.
Do you understand? So
See, as much as see, I'm a very factual person. As much as I'm a big Davido fan, and if I cannot say, I cannot come out, do you understand, and then diminish all of the things that Wizkid has been able to achieve.
In that, because you have
Even if
sense.
even if Wizkid is not buzzing, I can say he's not buzzing now. But overall, I cannot say a Portable or a Thames is big. Who put the Thames on the map? Not the Wizkid put
I
Thames
don't
on the map.
understand.
So, do you understand? So how can Thames now? Yeah, maybe at the moment, do you understand? Thames might be more relevant. Do you understand? Like people sabi, she's doing a lot of things. Do you understand? Maybe Wizkid hasn't released something. You said, but in terms of using the word big, do you understand? Thames can never be as big. No, she can be as big, maybe in the nearest future. But at the moment, we cannot say Thames is bigger than Wizkid. I don't
Anybody
know if you understand.
than
We
than
cannot
the
say
first
it.
top five.
Do you understand? Like I was saying earlier on, all of these things, not be now it starts. It don't start from Tete. We've had G's, even people we don't buy, do you understand, who has made Nigerian music proud, we don't put us on the map. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is now wrong to say because somebody is doing it now, we now say that person is automatically bigger than the person who has done it before. It's even easier to be done now. Do you understand? There's internet. If you sit down for your room, make the whole world study you. But in times past, in the times of the Majek Fasheks, on your day, do you understand? You have to walk. Do you understand? Okay. There was no
It's
there was no
actually very
streaming, there
funny.
was no
It's actually very funny to me. It's just like uh the last time Michael Jackson had a hit was in actually it was in 90s that he had a
okay.
major hit. Now in the 2000s we had people really we had 2000 between 2000 and 2000 and before he died we had people that were reigning but nobody could say they were bigger than Michael Jackson. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Now that he is dead,
But you,
nobody
but you
can say
see,
it.
you see the people in this particular environment trying to say that because somebody don't had a hit in 3 years, because of that, it's never big. How sensible is that? Doesn't make any sense. Like
I
I don't
want
even know who these
people to
people
pay
are. I don't
attention
know
to
the kind of
something
thing that goes through
that
their mind.
music is not just everything when it comes to the pop culture.
It
We
is not.
these days realize that a lot of artists feel like when you're big, you're going for shows and everything. If you look at the kind of events that Wizkid is attending these days, those things are part of the pop culture also. Chanel will invite him, Dolce and Gabbana will invite him, Louis Vuitton will invite him. Those are part of the things that he has created for his name. That brand alone, for him to be called to those things. Of course, the likes of Burna Boy have been invited to the shows also. Rema was invited to the Louis Vuitton show the last time they had one. But consistently, Wizkid has always been in these events because he has built that brand
Because
over
he's
years.
big,
And that
yeah.
pop culture,
Because he's in a
that pop
particular
culture,
That brand is
level. So
big.
when
That
that is
brand is
that's
big.
it.
seen.
So they
That's the
want him
thing.
to be part. They want his brand to be part of their brand. They are happy to associate with his brand. Do you
Exactly.
understand?
So that is
And
why
so
there's a big
even
disappointment attached to this whole event. To me, like I don't see it necessary at all.
It's
He
absolutely
doesn't even need
necessary.
to do
Please,
And
1% of
the
what
Whiskey,
he
and
has
the
done.
tweet
if
the
you are
tweet
able
are
to see
so I'm
this,
so sorry. The tweet are so childish. He's saying
that
things
was
like
what I
I
was going
dress
to
more than
say. I
you.
dress more than you. I have
I
money more than
you know
you. That was what I
Whiskey,
was just going
please.
to
and
say.
like
And
Very lame.
this
Very
thing, this
lame.
thing is not even just a one-time thing again. It's becoming of him.
the
Like
things we
is
used to
it the
bash
last
the
time
video
with
for.
Don Jazzy that I was saying I can't talk chat with
No,
an
what I just
influencer or
feel like
something.
I feel like he has kept quiet for too long, and now the things are getting to him, and he just don't want to keep quiet anymore. Please, Whiskey, if you can, if you're able, by chance, able to see this, please. It is that silence that made you the essence of Whiskey, the Popsy. Please go back. I beg. Just ignore.
Agree. And because
Well,
at the end of the day,
I just feel like he's also trying to promote his album.
Nah,
And I
forget.
just
He
feel
doesn't need that to promote the
no,
this
album.
Nah,
album
nah,
makes
I don't
Forget.
makes
agree with
But
that.
perfect.
I'm sorry, I don't
I
agree
don't
with that.
agree with
I,
that.
He
I
has
do not
always had
agree.
albums, and he never had to do tirade to do that. So
Do you
he has
understand?
ways, developed ways of promoting his album without having to do this.
See,
I don't
I
think
put
it
it
is.
to
If it's
you
an
that
upcoming artist that
if
is doing this now, that's trying to
I say that
get
because of the
attention,
timing.
You
Is it
know,
that because of the timing, right?
timing is different. It might be
Okay.
coincidence.
Can I
Just be a
quickly say
coincidence. I
something?
don't think it's because of the
Can
album.
I? Yeah, I
I
think
don't
it's a
think it's
coincidence because Wizkid has grown his brand to that level where if that's what Wizkid does now, he could just drop the song. We could just hear say
Yes,
Wizkid
now.
don't drop song and everywhere goes scatter. So he
Yeah,
doesn't
so
need
yeah,
it. And like he said,
he
Ronke,
has
I think he
never
should
done
keep
it before.
quiet. He has not because it's beginning to look like maybe the reason why he has not been talking is because he really does not have things to say. Because how can you come out and be saying I dress more than you, I have more money than you, do you understand? I mean, like I said, even if you want to talk something that makes sense. People go say, okay, Gidiga, because all those things when they talk, my junior brother supposed to talk and make I carry cane, they beat am say, no, you don't talk like that. But it's the truth now, it's the truth. I mean, I'm really disappointed. No, you ain't
Me
with
too.
place like this. You can't. No, 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 no.
You know the biggest defense. Do you know one of the biggest defense that Wizkid FC are giving to these tantrums
Yeah.
that Machala is throwing? So they are referring back to when he released Made in Lagos, right? So when he released Made in Lagos, one guy, bless his soul, I think he's dead now. I can't remember his name. He's in Davido's camp. He made a tweet or he made a post on Snapchat that Baba, this your album, wow, right? And during that time, Wizkid was using this gold teeth, he was doing, the gold swag and stuff like that. So there was one particular video that was going around. So the guy that was talking about it brought the video out. It's 30 BG's minion. And Wizkid also refers to them in this series of tweets as pussy boys, right? So it's 30 BG's minion. We are talking that it's not be about gold teeth to show your teeth white. The video was showing his teeth,
Yeah,
he
I
was
remember that. I
dreaming,
remember that shit.
right? So they brought those things
These
out.
people
They were
are
not
very
trying to say that,
disrespectful. Oh God.
but Wizkid wasn't saying anything.
But
Wizkid
if you
wasn't
look
saying
at it,
anything back then, and now he's retaliating.
even when Davido was throwing tantrums, they mention name, but we don't know where they follow talk, which I think is wise.
Yeah.
But Whiskey just they mention name, they mention name, they mention as if
Wizkid,
Baba no sabi do am.
everybody papa.
Baba
That
no
silence is the
sabi,
best thing for him. That silence is what fits him.
I swear, I swear.
Okay, one thing is if you've known Wizkid for a long time now, you realize that all those corner shading, it doesn't do that. If you look at it from the time of Linda Ikeji, he will come for you directly,
Yeah.
like, straight
Linda
up.
Ike-
So that silence
You
is
are
the best
fighting
thing.
with me,
Well,
I'm fighting with you
there
directly.
are
There's
some people are
no
like that.
corner.
Some people are very
Linda Ikeji
direct.
collect, he was very direct. He doesn't beat around the bush.
Yeah.
True,
So I
but
think
it
that's
makes
the
more
person.
I feel like
sense.
something must
I
have
That
really
is
think
hurt
that's
I
him
think
why
for him to say
that's
something.
why that's
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
At all. If he wants to talk, he should go and talk in his music. We want to hear him talk in his
Yeah.
music, not
Yeah. Let's just do
yeah.
beef. Just do beef in music beef. Yeah, it's fine.
You
And
understand?
he needs
I think it's
he needs
about
he needs
time
to
they
realize
start
that
doing music beef. Go
his
do
talking
music. Talk
points
to the
affect a
person.
lot
Do you
of careers.
understand? It makes more sense. That's what they do
Yeah.
out there.
The last time he did with
They
Ricardo
will
Banks,
record
you
a
know,
whole
You guys
album
are
because of
clashing.
you.
like he needs to just calm down. Whatever he's
you should
doing, if
just
not
drop
because
it.
the video is
You should
actually
drop it this
a
time.
very big brand as well, he probably would have just spoiled that boy's career. But thank God that the video is not a small person, you get. Because the last time he had it with Ricardo Banks,
He's a
bro,
married man
it
now. He needs to
affected
act
that
like
guy,
that.
honestly.
Fola, I think you are right. Do you understand? When you get married, some things change. Do you understand? So the
Exactly.
way the
Even
video they
before.
carry himself now, it don't different. You don't understand? Do you understand? Because right now, when you're married, you don't think about yourself alone. You think about your family. Do you understand? They act that, you know, in a very mature way.
Maturity thing.
Maybe Mashallah should just put, you should put a ring on it.
Thank you guys. I think that's a very good one. We've been able
Yeah.
to talk extensively about it. So I'll please go back to that we don't even know what kind of whiskey. We don't know what he want talk. We don't know what he want. Anything will happen, he keep quiet, no sense.
If he drop emoji, everywhere goes scatter.
Even if you want beef anybody, give us a song. Give us a piece now.
Yes. Give us a good track. In fact, go as far as giving us
Leave Twitter
an
alone.
album. Yes. Go do a full album. Mobu no say they follow person talk. Then we
They go see
appreciate
it.
the music. We appreciate, the lyrics
But
and
what
all
do
of
you guys
that.
think about what do you guys think of the snippet of Piece of My Heart? Let me hear what
I
you
think
guys
it's a
think
good
about that.
song. I think it's a good song. Trust me. Because
I think
listen,
it's fantastic. His voice on
yes.
that song, his delivery.
For life, you can remember
That's
vividly, in our last podcast, I told you that Wizkid
yeah.
is on a different level. Wizkid is just expressing himself now, the kind of music way in really, do you understand? So he's not trying to do music to make you like him. Do you understand? Now he's doing what, you know, waiting in fear. Do you understand? And he has grown musically. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So and now we will really enjoy the music where Whiskey they give us for. Anyway, for people
But
who
like
really
he
enjoy
said,
music,
his production
do
these
you
days
understand?
from
He has
that made in
grown.
Lagos
Musically,
album,
he has matured.
from that made in Lagos album till now, the production has been out of this world. With
I agree.
the live bass in those songs. I don't know. Oh God,
Baba, like I
production.
said, whiskey don't it don't evolve. It's just like sorry, I keep going back to Two Face. I keep using him as my yardstick. If Two Face comes out and do now, do you
I
understand?
go buy
People
am
will vibe to it. You get, and that's the level where
standard.
whiskey don't carry music reach. So now, they do music so that you go like them. No, they give you waiting in the feel, and that's now. Like I said, now we will begin enjoy the music because look at that snippet. I mean, if you listen to it, in fact, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Make him just release the whole song. Make we even, make him give us something to enjoy. I beg. Let him leave all these tantrums in the truth.
I beg.
He's way bigger than that.
I agree. For the first time, 30 billion and Wizkid fan, yeah, I agree.
Because Ronke, at the end of the day, it's all about the music. You get. So let's keep
All the
it
music and the
at
culture.
that. Yeah, music and the
Yeah,
culture.
and I'm going to. I want to use this medium to express something about the industry, especially the fan base. This is like a plead for everyone. I get that everybody's trying to hustle Elon Musk money. We're trying to like use the trend to get money and stuff. We need to let these artists do themselves, let them enjoy the creation of their music without pitching them against their brothers. Like yesterday or probably today, somebody was trying to pitch Fino against Olamide. That who is the
Olamide,
bigger
yeah.
who is the bigger artist between them? And I feel like that is very unnecessary. And I like what Ezege did.
Fino
Like he
did.
had to tell them, that,
He
please
shut it
don't pitch
down
me against my
immediately.
brothers. Like
Immediately.
that is what the industry is about. Let these people enjoy their creation. Let them bring out their creativity without feeling like they're competing with the other person. It doesn't make sense. Like you don't need to make people who are as the enmity in them. Like it doesn't make sense. So let them just enjoy their music, and when it comes out, you as the fan also enjoy. Do you understand? Like when Burna
Do
Boy
you understand?
drops, enjoy the music. When Wizkid drops, enjoy the music. When Davido drops, enjoy the music. Yes, criticism can happen. Like you can actually say that this music I don't feel it. Then let it come from the fact that you actually don't feel it, not because of the enmity, because you are in Davido camp, you don't like Wizkid, not because you are in Wizkid camp, you don't like Davido. That doesn't make any sense. Wizkid
Let
drop
it,
music that you enjoy. Davido does the
yeah.
same thing. Burna Boy does the same thing. Rema, all of them. These people are very
So
creative. You wouldn't
you
make it
know,
in industry without being creative, and that's just fact.
in other words, let the music speak to you. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Let the music speak to you. However, sorry for deviating because I was going to say this earlier. Do you understand? Kudos to Davido. The last time Wizkid dropped a song, I think, was it a song on an album? He posted it. He talked about it. That's what we want to
Hey,
see.
stop it there. Stop it there. All
But he
those ones
did
are high
now.
service. I don't want talk. I
I
don't
said
want talk
high
bad.
service. Not the high service. Make
Okay,
Whiskey said do
why?
that high
Let
service.
me ask you. Why did he decide? This guy said was releasing October 1st. Why did he decide and say announcement October 1st?
October announcement.
All those
Yeah,
things
all those
are
things.
unnecessary subliminals.
Yeah,
Unnecessary subliminal sub.
yeah,
So all this posting in clinical,
I agree.
they are just to do a thing.
But
yeah.
this posting happened
Yeah.
years back. No be now. He say before the plot. Recently, Davido tweeted and said, "Let's drop a song on the same day and let's see." Do you understand? So we've gone way past what I spoke about. But I'm just saying that that is what we want to see. Do you understand? Let them support each other. You understand? Nothing will happen. It doesn't mean that when you drop yours, it is not going to have a buzz or something. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying it because Davido once did it. It not go bad if he makes somebody else do it. He has done it. So now it is your word against his. You cannot say he's doing it because of Ojai. He could have done it genuinely. We don't know. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but we can also assume that now Ujuaye, but
The
now
one way
assumption.
they pay
And as
me,
long
the
as
one
it's
way they
an
pay me
assumption, we
now
don't
in
know.
my lifetime, I will never hear a Davido and a Wizkid future. I might not, so I might not
Well,
hear. Anything
we
can
ne-
change tomorrow.
We don't know what can happen
yeah,
next 5 years.
Yeah, anything
that's
can
what I
Yeah,
was
change
fingers
going to
tomorrow.
crossed.
say.
Never can tell. And that is why that brings us to actually quenching the beef between the two of them. They really need to work on each other. They've been on and on, off. Sometimes they're very close, sometimes they're this. But I feel like they can work out whatever is between them and be a big brand for Africa. Like two of them can showcase Africa, just like Wizkid and Burna Boy are very close. If we have a Burna Boy, if we have a Wizkid and Davido closeness, it's going to help. See, the last time I watched them together, every time I watch them together, I don't care if there's any Uduaye between them. It makes me so happy. Like I used to smile and shed tears that I see Davido and Wizkid hugging.
Mm.
Okay,
Like it used to make me
we've
feel
seen
so
that
happy.
The two young
I
we've
want
guys.
also
that
seen
thing so much. I want that friendship, and I feel like whatever is happening between them, they can just work it out. We are all humans. We make mistakes, and
yeah,
if you
agree.
actually want to be friend with somebody, and the other person is willing as well, I feel like it's something they can do, and I'm really hoping that that can happen. Honestly,
Yeah, because we've seen that happen in the rap, circle. MI had a beef with what's his name again?
That's all.
Please, can you Vector? Do you understand? And they eventually did a song together and all of that. They quenched the beef. It can happen. Do you understand? In fact, that's what I'm looking forward to because you can imagine what a collabo, like an album from Davido and
yeah,
Wizkid would do to Nigerian music. It goes,
honestly,
it goes scatter everywhere. as the world will not say something happened.
The media circles around the world will be too much.
Yes,
It will just go crazy. It will
it will
go crazy.
explode.
honestly.
Really. Well, we hope
All
that
right.
someday that will happen.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming. You can stop the
Thanks for having us.